listening to WNJC 1360 AM in Washington Township, New Jersey. Up next, The Mystic.
Radio and internet land, it is I, the Mystic, coming to you live once again from WNJC 1360 AM, Washington Township. Folks, the fastest growing station in the Delaware Valley, you know. That's what they say. I have to agree with them. Folks, it is great to be here. This is the Mystic Hour, tri-state area, and the world's free call-in live psychic talk show. I, of course, am your host, the Mystic, professional psychic of 15 years, here to assist you, my brothers and sisters, in all matters of love, life, health, success, and, of course, destiny. That's right. So, we got a lot to talk about, folks. We got much to talk about. So much, I don't even know where to begin. So I'm just going to start throwing stuff out there. First off, it's great to be here. As always, it's great to be having you guys tuning me into your homes and businesses and computers all over the world. It's great night tonight, folks. Tonight is Tuesday, of course, the 13th. Folks, wow. As you guys recall, last week I had my prophecies of 2009 that I put out. If you guys haven't heard the show, you are more than welcome to go check me on YouTube. It is available for your enjoying and viewing pleasure. And, folks, there was a lot of things that was mentioned, obviously. There is every year. I usually have about 7 or 8 things that I predict is going to happen before the end of the year. And, wow, I got a lot of calls about one that apparently has already gone down. If you recall, one of my predictions was that UFO sighting would occur and hundreds of people would see it. And sure enough, I didn't say where this was going to happen, but apparently there was a huge sighting in Morris County, New Jersey, right here in our neighborhood, folks. So this was on Monday, I guess last week. They had some crazy sighting of a bunch of really weird lights in the sky, and some cops have seen it and the whole bit. Now, they tried to dismiss it as flares, tied with balloons, apparently. But it just didn't fly, folks. Nobody bought the idea, and, they tried that before, and nobody bought it. So, this is what's going on. In fact, apparently there was I was also told that there was a show on Sci-Fi or something like that where they actually tried to achieve the same effect by taking flares on balloons and releasing them. And, of course, they went all kinds of different ways, all sporadically. They'd pick up a wind current and they're gone, But apparently these lights were very stationary in the sky, which is something that balloons don't do. So, there you have it. Very, very interesting stuff, I think. So I haven't gotten a chance to witness this footage myself yet, but apparently it was several lights that they had seen. So there you go. Kind of neat. So is that the big one? I don't know, folks. I got to tell you, I think there's going to be something bigger. I do. I think it's going to be bigger. But apparently they got a lot of 911 calls on that one. So anywho, that's that. Now, another thing I want to mention to you is, folks, I had my first week back over at Dempster's Sports Bar and Restaurant. And, folks, what a time it was, let me tell you. They got some really great food over there. You guys go in, you get anything off the menu, and you get a free psychic reading with me. They fit the bill for that. So if you get a chance, come on out to Mount Holly, New Jersey. And it's from 7 to 10. And you guys can get something off the menu and sit down and get a free psychic reading, so you get to feed your belly and then feed your soul. Yes, with destiny. That's good stuff. Okay? Lastly, I do have a Mystic Minute that I want to mention tonight. That'll be right around, the half-hour-ish, somewhere around in there, okay? So stick around and get your pens ready, because I need you guys to write something down for me, okay? Okay, so that's pretty much it for now. Oh, again, that Dempster show is this coming Thursday, apparently. I'm seeing that I didn't mention that from my producer, so there you go. Thursday, 7 to 10. Okay? Mount Holly, New Jersey, Dempster Sports Bar and Restaurant. All right. Now, so that's pretty much it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to the phones. You guys can give us a call at 856-227-1360 and 856-232-7077. And if it's busy, of course, we only have 2 lines, so you must keep trying. Simple as that. But we do have a caller on the line right now, so we're going to go ahead and take that lucky caller. Caller, you are live. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name?
This is Greg from Indiana. We talked today.
Greg, hi. Great to hear from you. And how can I help you this fine evening?
Well, I guess, like we talked today, I was just going to try and get a general reading.
Well, none of these people here on the radio have talked to you at all, my brother, so you're going to have to be specific.
I was just going to try and get a general reading, but, we had talked today about, I had some feelings about some money coming my way, a lot of money.
Okay.
And just generally things getting better in my life.
Right. Okay, so then what we'll do, since you are a first-time caller, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and give you that general reading, and after that, we'll, if we haven't covered that money question, we'll go ahead and throw that in to boot. How about that?
Sounds great.
Right on. So just what I need you to do, Greg, is just kind of kick back, relax for me. You are live to thousands of people, but it's okay. It's just you and I right now, okay? So just relax, kick back, focus on your life a little bit for me, okay? Now, one of the first things that I'm seeing with you is, you do have a lot of dreams. That's one thing I can definitely see here, all right? Things that, you are looking to achieve. And I will say that a lot of these things are not, they're not very selfish things. It seems like there's a lot of helping others involved with a lot of your dreams, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You with me so far?
Yes.
But, another thing that I'm seeing here with you is, yes, you do have success in business and you do have success in other areas of your life, but, these dream things, my brother, you tend to weave what you want. You always have. You may not be able to necessarily keep it, but you do tend to weave what you want. And, it's almost like casting a spell. It's almost like, putting it out there to the universe and bringing it back in. But, it's a little more work involved than that. And this is something that you've always done. And I have absolutely no doubt if you apply yourself to some of these tasks, including, your financial gains, I have no doubt you'll win it. You know what I mean? But, I really don't sense this is going to come from gambling. I really don't sense this is going to come from the lottery. What I sense is just you buckling down on a really good thing. Now, I will tell you, too, that it's nothing that you're doing presently.
Nothing that I'm doing what?
Completely different, on a completely different wavelength here.
Yeah.
So, you're going to have to focus on that yourself in order to make that happen. But I'll tell you this, despite how many people you want to help, I really wouldn't let too many people get involved in this project because you tend to work better by yourself. You tend to get things done a lot easier that way.
Right.
So, that should be your focus. Do this yourself. If you want to make a foundation, well, set up a foundation, but use your name, not a bunch of a group or a catchy name or jingle. Use who you are. Be the product. Be the service here. You understand that?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, really, Greg, this is what I feel for you, man. It feels good, too. It does feel good. And you are a creative sort. You do know how to, weave that magic a bit. You do know how to get what you want, but you got to get it. Saying, I feel like it's going to happen, well, it's never going to happen that way. you know, as much as you want it to. You have to make it happen. You have to go out there and make it happen. You know, it's the only way.
I guess I just don't know. I know what I'm doing now isn't it, but I don't see where I'm
what you should be doing.
Right.
Okay. Well, see, this is where someone like me comes into play here, bro. Because, you know, one of the first things that I can tell you is, you know, you're pretty gutsy. That's one of the first things that I see with you. You've got a lot of guts. You got a lot of stamina, too. You know, you keep trudging on regardless. And I think that's one of the reasons why you get what you want, because you're not swayed that easily. You with me?
Yeah.
So, you know, this is something that tells me that no matter what you decide to do, once you commit, you're never going to stop, you know, and this is some great stuff. So my suggestion to you, my friend, is to sit down with you know, piece of paper, pen, pencil, whatever you got, all right? And you sit down and you write down all the things that you personally are really, really good at, no matter what it is. I don't care if it's telling a good joke. I don't care if it's telling a bad joke. Dancing, laughing. You know, you're a great typist. You're, you know, whatever. Whatever you think that you can do a little better than anybody else. You know what I mean? You put the list of these things that you have, these talents that you have, these abilities that you have. And once you have that list together, list as much as you can. But once you have that list together, take a good hard look at it and say, a person with these talents, with these abilities, would be the perfect, bam. And you'll have your answer right away. Because I got news for you. That's you. You understand? So,
yeah.
You know, this is what you need to do, man. Just sit down and start listing all of your abilities. All of them. Yeah, and your weaknesses, too. But, you know, especially those strengths. And I'm telling you, it'll show you like a photograph what you're supposed to be. You understand? Just like, you know, for example, just, you know, for a prime example, I've always had the gift of gab. I've always been psychic. And, you know, I've always liked to entertain. And here I am as a psychic radio host. Perfect. I couldn't be a plumber. Right?
Well, to be frank with you, I guess, you know, my confidence is probably shook a little bit. I mean, for a long time, things in my life were going really well, and then it just seemed to take a U-turn.
Well, you have to understand that a lot of the reason for that U-turn was your doing. You have to accept that. But see, now you're pulling literally a 180. You're cutting back in the saddle. And this is what you should be patting yourself on the back for. Not looking back on your past saying, oh, woe was me then.
Right.
You're starting to get it together.
I'm not really a woe is me guy. It's just, you know.
I hear you. But you know, you can't dwell negatively on your past. All you can do is say, you know what, I've learned as much as I can from that and move forward.
Right.
Everybody's had their bummers, man. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Some much worse than you, my friend. You know? You see what's going on in Israel and Gaza, you know. That looks like a tough way to have to go to the market every day.
Yeah, I was there.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what's happening there.
Right.
You know, you could be there.
Oh, yeah.
Prime example, you know, I think you're in much better shape now.
Yeah.
You know. But see, I understand that. But, you know, again, it all comes back to you, you know, just like I told you at the beginning of the street, you got a lot of guts, man. You do.
Okay.
You just got to, get the cojones back with them.
Yeah.
And the only way to do this is to sit down, list your abilities, and realize who you are. And I mean, list them all. Oh, I know how to draw. I know how to, whatever, anything. I know how to, hang out and speak Israeli. I don't know anything. Everything you got. And I'm telling you, you'll see who you are.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe to expound on that a little bit, people are very drawn to me, and a lot of times it's a burden on me, almost physically.
Okay. Okay. Now, is this burden an emotional one, or how do you mean? I mean, is it costing you money here, or are we talking an emotional burden?
It's more emotional, physical. Okay. I mean, I
here's
care about
the deal,
everything.
though. Here's the deal with that. Okay. This is one of the biggest problems that most people who have a spiritual nature of any kind, this is the biggest problem that they have. And I'll tell you why that is. Because the vast majority of them, including yourself, okay, you rely on your emotions a lot, especially when it comes to your decision making. And I'm telling you, my friend, this is the worst thing you could possibly do. Oh, listen to your heart. It sounds great, but it's the worst thing you could possibly do for yourself, for any type of business, for any type of business relationship, or any type of romantic relationship for that matter. Okay, the worst thing you could possibly do is let your emotions make your decisions for you. Because every time you do, you're going to make a mistake. This is the biggest thing that I talk about on my show, more than anything else, is the difference between the emotions and instinct. Because instinct, my friend, is the way to go. You want to talk about leading a life of the spiritual. What you need to do is take your emotions and set them aside, put them in a drawer, and save them for a dinner date. And what you need to do is you need to start following your instinct to the letter. Because that, my friend, is your spirit guide. Your soul. That's it. That's what we have. Everybody thinks, well, not everybody, but a few people out there think that, we have all these many spirit guides and all this hokey stuff. No, that's not true at all. We have one spirit guide in this world. Each one of us do. And it's our soul. Because our soul is eternal, and it's been around forever, and it knows what it's talking about. So, this thing, as long as you would listen to this, it already knows what you're supposed to be doing down the road. It knows already. All you have to do is listen. It knows who you're supposed to be with. All you have to do is listen. It knows who you're supposed to be. All you have to
when I, a lot of times I feel I'm listening to my instinct, but I mean, it gets jumbled up. I know I use my heart too much, but
see, that's exactly right. It gets jumbled up because once you hear that instinct tell you what to do, it says, Greg, you got to go over here. Right? Usually doesn't tell you why. Just says, Greg, you got to go this way, man. Okay? And you start to go, but as you go, your emotions kick in. Oh, man, but if you go this way, you're going to miss out on this over here. We all know what's going on over here. Right?
Right.
And it starts talking to you, and it starts out-thinking you, and it starts literally talking you out of what you wanted to do in the first place. And once this happens, well, you beat.
Yeah.
You need to stop doing that, brother. This is something, okay, prime example. Okay, you said that you know what it was like over there in Israel, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you do over there?
I was in the Army.
Okay. This is the most prime example of what I'm trying to tell you here, brother. Because the first thing they teach you when you're in combat is don't panic. Don't let your emotions get to you. Because if you let your emotions get to you, you could die.
Right.
And probably take a few people along with you. But by following that instinct, that first initial thought, and going with that with all your might, why do you think we're the greatest fighting force in all the world?
Instinct.
So what you need to do, my brother, is you need to, as they say in the military, go back to basics. You need to go ahead and let your instinct guide you again. Because I know you've been there before. I've seen it. This is my point. And when you did that, you were successful. You were successful.
Yeah, I know.
So, when you got back, that was a pretty emotional time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And at the same time, you didn't have to really rely on your instincts as much. Which is something that's, like, cooked into you at this point. Right?
Right.
So it was probably, at the time that it was this big, huge, emotional rush, it was also, quite an instinctive release. In other words, you actually felt for the first time. You could actually let your guard down a little bit, let your instincts down a little bit, and it probably felt pretty good.
Yeah, I
so
got married.
this kind of helps the emotional side along a little bit. It helps it become a little stronger than you probably wanted it to. And that's when you started making mistakes. So, let this be a lesson to you, my bro. You got to go back. Let your instincts be your guide. And use those same instincts that you learned in combat. Use them in business. Use them in, friendship, in daily life. And most importantly, my brother, use it in love. Because, when instinct kicks in, that's the real deal. When your instincts say, that's the one, you don't have to wait and let this person grow on you. It's usually that first glimpse across a crowded room kind of thing. And from what I'm seeing here, that's not what you got. So,
in relation to what, my marriages?
Yeah.
Or failed marriages?
Yeah. So, this is why. You need instinctive love. You need instinctive life. You need instinctive health, success, destiny. This will do it for you, bro. And I'm telling you, as soon as you start doing this, your life will improve for the better. And the reason why is because, God doesn't help anybody that doesn't help themselves,
Right.
It says that right there in the book. So this is something that you need to follow. Right?
Okay.
Right on. So this is what you need to do, bro. This will help you in every aspect, including your finances. This will lead you to a pot of gold. Surely will. That's what I see for you, Greg.
Okay.
That's what I see for you, man.
How does this year look? I mean, I know it's all relative to me, but...
I think this is going to be a much better year for you this year. It looks like you fluctuate between that progression and maintenance a lot. But I really think you're going to have a lot more progression this year. I really do. In fact, to be honest, a lot of people are going to have some progression this year. I do think this is going to be a month of progression. I don't think the economy is going to get much better, but ever. Ever. But, I do think that people are going to, come up in other ways this year. I really do believe that. So, people are getting creative out there. They have to. And this is America. We can get creative as we want. You know? So this is something that you'll have to experience yourself, brother.
I see.
You know, let your instinct guide you. It will guide you in all aspects, and it will help you have a better year. Because, you know, the more you listen to your instincts, the more success you'll have. The more success you have in any aspect, the better it feels. It just feels good to be, you know, doing the right thing here.
Right.
You know?
And I feel like, you know, as we talk today, I really feel stuck where I'm at in this state. Like I can't get out. You know, I applied for jobs outside the state, and
right.
I just don't seem to get any reply on anything.
Well, you're picking a crappy time to start looking for a job, my friend.
Yeah.
You know, that's the bottom line. That's everywhere. That's not you. That's not you, bro. That, you know, that has nothing to do with you. This is the whole planet. You know what I mean? The global economy is being affected here. And honestly, it's not going to get a lot better. And that's a horrible thing to say. You know, President-elect Obama is not going to be this miracle cure. I'm sorry, he's not. I wish he was. But he's not. There isn't one.
Do you see me getting out of here, or is this where I'm supposed to be?
I do see a move for you, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know where it is. But I definitely see a move for you this year. But it seems like it's more towards the end of the year. So, you know, this is something that you may be setting up for by the year after. But I definitely see a move for you, but it's not soon. It's not soon, brother. And again, I really don't think it has anything to do with you. But my suggestion there, though, is make the best of it. Be happy with what you have. A lot of people don't even have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
It's really bad out there right now, brother. You should be very grateful for what you have right now. And I know that sounds corny.
No, I know.
But it's the absolute truth, brother. You should be very thankful for what you have, man, because you're starting to build yourself up for a second shot here at life. You really are. You really are. You know, everybody's got skeletons. Everybody's have burdens, you know, that we have to deal with in our lives. And it's not all a bed of roses, obviously. But, you know, some got it better than others. And right now, it's getting better for you, brother. It's not getting worse. So you should be thankful. You know, bottom line here.
Sounds good.
All right. So get that list together.
Can I ask you one more?
Yes, very quickly.
I've kind of alienated myself right now from everybody. It feels right, but I don't know that it's the right thing to do.
Well,
friends, you know.
Well, see, that's really up to you at this point, brother. You know, it depends on what your focus really is. You know, I mean, believe me, I help people as much as I can. You know, I do these readings, I do live appearances all over the place as much as I can. But, you know, as far as the social life, I'd rather stay home with, you know, my babies. Stay home with my babies and my animals and, you know, just ride that way. You know, that's just how I am. But, you know, as soon as I walk out the door, it's, you know, superhero time. Time to save the planet. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
So, you know, I understand your alienation because, you know, it's hard to deal with other people when you're trying to deal with yourself right now and figure out exactly what you're dealing with. But I'm telling you, once you get this list, you'll know what you're dealing with a little better, and it'll be a lot easier to deal with everybody else.
Okay.
So get this list together ASAP. This is your homework assignment.
All right.
And I want you to give me a call in like 30 days or so, and let me know how you're doing. Can you do it?
Sure, we'll do.
That would be awesome, man. I'd love to hear back from you. Greg, it's really great to hear from you all the way out there, man. I really want to say hi to all of my peeps out there. You know, I have a lot of people out there that call me from there, so, you know, by all means, I have a lot of love for you guys. But I want to thank you again for calling the show, and God bless you and your entire family, man.
Thank you. God bless you, too.
Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, folks, my first call is a long-distance one. You got to love that. Hey, you know what? I think we should go to commercial really quickly. And when we come back, we shall have some more absolutely free psychic advice and other stuff when we come back. Stick around.
What's the matter? My girl's such a pain. She's got all this stuff to do before the wedding, and she's put me in charge of getting the wedding invitations printed. I don't know about any of this stuff. You need copies and more. Tell me about it. I also have to get all the flyers for the softball game this Saturday done. Yep, you need copies and more. Yes, I heard you. And what's more, I have to get print-ups of this year's quarterly at my firm. There's no way I'm going to have it all ready. What am I going to do? You need copies and more. I know I need copies and more. I'm not an idiot. Sure you are. Copies and More is the one-stop shop for all your printing needs. Flyers, invitations, presentations, even posters and magnets. Everything can be done at Copies and More. Good prices, too. Give them a call at 856-845-6770. They'll take good care of you over there. Thanks, I will. Now don't forget that's Copies and More at 240 South Broadway in Woodbury, New Jersey at 856-845-6770. Thanks, Copies and More. And here I thought you were repeating yourself because you were losing it. No, I ain't the one who got stuck doing wedding invitations. Grandpa. That's Copies and More at 856-845-6770.
Do you have a product or service that you want advertised on the Mystic Hour? Call 856-803-4463. Advertising is important to any business, and the Mystic Hour reaches thousands of homes throughout the Delaware Valley. What's more, as a sponsor, you're providing free advice on the Mystic Hour, as well as the availability of your service or product. Call 856-803-4463 for details. We've been in business in the Delaware Valley for almost 8 years and know how to promote your business. We'll help you write a script and record the commercial together, and we'll have come up with the best solution for your business. Call 856-803-4463 for details, and we'll look forward to promoting you. And that number again is 856-803-4463.
Hi, I'm the Mystic, and as a psychic advisor, it's my job to assist you in all phases of life. Many couples come to me to give them insight on how to become better, closer couples, how to avoid the relationship ruts so many fall prey to. The answer is bliss. Bliss is quite simply a game for loving. At www.gamesforloving.com, you'll find Bliss is the perfect game for an intimate couple. Whether you're looking to add more spice to a long-lasting relationship, or if you're trying to get to know and enjoy your new partner together, this game is for you. Completely customizable, gamesforloving.com provides you with what you consider to be your perfect intimate experience. Your mood, your pace, your desires, all customizable. Bliss is a game based on intimacy, not just sex. Explore each other's feelings as well as bodies. There's even an add-on pack designed especially for Christians. Go to www.gamesforloving.com and check out their demo, and you'll see quickly that no couple can be truly happy without bliss. Remember, that's gamesforloving.com.
The Sketch Club. Affordable ticket prices, intimate seating in a historical building, and plenty of free parking. Conveniently located in downtown Woodbury, a few blocks from Route 45 on the corner of Glover and Logan Streets. We're celebrating the 73rd consecutive season, bringing you the best in theater and live entertainment. For performance dates and times, call our 24-hour hotline at 856-848-8089. Performances run from Thursday to Saturday evening and a Sunday matinee at 2 p.m. Sketch Club is a non-profit community theater, the oldest running in South Jersey, and we're always looking for volunteers, actors, set builders, writers, and more. All creative minds are welcomed at the Sketch Club. Call us at 856-848-8089 or check us out on the web at www.sketchclub.net. Come and experience live theater with us, Sketch Club players. That number again is 856-848-8089. Greetings to you. I am the Mystic. Thanks for tuning into my show each week, but it's only an hour show, and I know many of you miss out on the chance for your reading with me. So,
I am available for private sessions, as well as parties, seminars, and benefits, of course. Give me a call at 856-803-4463, and I will assist you in all matters of love, life, health, success, and destiny. As an ordained minister of 9 years, I can also perform blessings and house clearings or the most memorable custom wedding created especially for you. Call 856-803-4463, and you can also reach me through my website at www.themysticsrealm.com. Feel the awesome power of a true psychic reading. To be knowledgeable about what is to come in your life is to be prepared for it, and I will show you how to achieve better living through the Spirit. That number again is 856-803-4463, and I look forward to reading you.
And we are back here on the Mystic Hour, Tri-State area, and the world's free call-in live psychic talk show. Folks, we do have another caller on the line, so let's go ahead and take that caller very, very quickly. We shall. Let's do it.
Hello.
Caller, you are live. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi.
My
Your
name
name?
is Krishna.
I'm sorry, your name?
My name is Krishna.
Krista. And
Yeah.
where are you calling from, Krista?
I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Oh, lovely. Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And how can I help you this fine evening?
I wanted to find out about my career.
Okay.
I just wanted to know what kind of career I would have and when will I get a break, because I've not been working for a while.
Right.
So I just wanted to find out about that.
Okay. Well, stand by, and we shall see exactly what we shall see for you, Krista, all the way out there in Houston, Texas. Wow. I actually have someone in Texas that I need to discuss later on, so you got to stick around, okay?
Sure.
Right on. Okay, one of the first things that I'm seeing with you, wow, this working situation here, wow, it's also really hitting Texas pretty hard too, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Well, I'll tell you, I do see an opportunity for you here.
Okay.
But it's in the medical field, dear.
Oh.
And it looks like you would be a shoo-in.
A what?
In the medical field.
Oh, okay. I'm a CPA by profession.
Yes.
Certified public accountant.
Right, I understand.
Okay.
But I honestly feel like the medical profession might actually do really, really good with you.
Oh, okay.
Plus you like people. This is something, that's why you became a CPA. You like to help. But I actually think you could do something like that in the medical profession.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you could be a CPA for a hospital or something.
Oh.
That's what I'd start looking at.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, despite how much the economy goes down and how big of a mess there is, people are always going to be sick.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They're always going to be sick. So, this is something that I definitely think that you should be checking into.
Okay, definitely.
Take that, you know what I mean? Take that CP you got and bring it right in and see what you can do with that, because I really feel something there strongly.
Sure, definitely. And what is the time period that you think?
You haven't left yet? You'd be on your cell phone talking to me in the car on your way over there. No, honestly, do it as soon as you can.
Okay.
Do it as soon as you can, Chris. I really feel strong about this, and I feel there's some security with it and the whole bit, but, this is what I see. You ask me what I think, this is what I think.
Okay, definitely. I will do.
I really think you're going to be great with this.
Okay, yeah.
And, like I said, you like to help people anyway, so, it's not like you're leaving that.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But wow, good with numbers, eh?
Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, it's my most humble pleasure. I got to tell you, I have a lot of respect for CPAs. Numbers
so
absolutely frighten me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, it's my most humble pleasure, and God bless you and your entire family, dear. Is there anything else I can answer for you while I have you on the air?
Say that again, sir.
Is there anything else I can answer for you while I have you on the air?
Yeah, I think I just had a very strong thing about my career, so I just wanted to take it somewhere, and I guess you've given me the guidance on that, definitely.
Wonderful. Okay, well then good luck to you, Krista, and give us a call back and let me know how it goes, okay?
Sure, definitely. Thank you so
much. Right on.
Yeah.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Wow, another satisfied customer. You gotta love that. Folks, this is the Mystic Hour Tri-State Area and the world's free call-in live psychic talk show here at WNJC 1360 AM. Folks, I do have a little quickie topic that I want to talk about, and if we got time, we can take another caller. You guys can give us a call at 856-227-1360 and 856-232-7077. Just give us a call. But in the meantime, I want to talk to you very, very quickly. We just had that last call from Texas. I'd like to tell you about a guy who is in Texas right now. He's in Livingston, Texas, actually, and his name was Larry Swearingen. Now, Larry was arrested in, I assume, 1998, and he was arrested on traffic warrants, and since then, he has not been out of prison. He has not been out of jail. Eventually, he went to court. He was actually tried and convicted of the rape and murder of a 19-year-old college student by the name of Melissa Trotter. Folks, I don't know what to tell you. I've always been a firm believer in the justice system. I've never had anything like this in my face before. But a couple of years ago, I actually had a vision of this guy. But 2 weeks from tonight, this man, Larry Swearingen, is going to be executed by lethal injection. Now, 2 years ago, almost to the day, I had a vision of this guy. And it was the craziest thing I've ever had as far as any of my visions, folks. I'm the guy that predicted 9/11. I'm the guy that predicted the tsunami in Southeast Asia. I'm the guy that predicted the Red Sox winning the World Series. I'm the guy that predicted the Phillies winning the World Series. But I gotta tell you, this was something that affected me more so than anything else. And the reason why, because this is the very first time and the only time that I have had in all of my visions where it was first person. All of my visions have always been third person. Now, for whatever reason, I had this vision that I was in this cell, and I was dressed in these dingy white shirt and kind of a dingy gray kind of pants. I was heavier set, and I was in a cell almost as dingy as the shirt. But I was only looking at this for a couple of seconds when I heard some metal doors clanking, and 3 guards came in, looked dead at me, and said, "It's time." And I immediately felt this panic come on, and I heard this voice saying, "What can I do? Who can I call? Just tell me what to do." I didn't rape or murder anyone. And I was let out, and as I was being let out, I saw myself in the reflection, and this person wasn't me. It wasn't my face that was looking back at me. It was somebody else's. And then I came out of it and went on from there, and I woke out of this thing in a total panic. It was like I was about to be executed. There's no other way I can explain it. But I was in a panic. My heart was racing. My pulse was racing. I was freaking out. So I didn't know what to do. For a couple of hours, I just kind of sat around wondering what I could possibly do, what this meant. Where should I proceed? Because every vision I've ever had, I've always known what to do in one form or another. And this was just something that was so crazy, even for me, Anyway, so I decided to go on the net just to see if there was any executions that were coming up. And sure enough, there was one. His name was Larry Swearingen, and he was about to be executed just a couple of days from that day of that vision, So I actually went and looked it up, and sure enough, I couldn't believe it. This guy was convicted of rape and murder. And I remember in the vision, the guy says, "I didn't rape and murder anybody." So I'm like, wow, this is just connecting way too well, to be coincidence here, right? So all I could do was say, well, I got to figure out something. So all I could do was call the governor's office, and I did. And I called the governor's office and just said, look, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm actually a psychic, and I don't know if this guy's guilty or not, but I don't think that you should execute him. That's it. That's all I could say. And that's all I could say. So I hung up, and sure enough, the next day, and I'm not saying it was me, but I'm saying that there was a stay of execution. And, I thank my lucky stars for that. But, so, as this whole thing went on, I decided to look up the case itself. And sure enough, there's all this crazy stuff in there. DNA doesn't match. Blood doesn't match. Just all kinds of really crazy stuff doesn't jive. The guy was in jail at the time the girl was murdered and dumped in this, forest, and it was just crazy. It was very, very crazy, folks. So, I still, I'm not going to tell you guys this man is innocent. Okay? But there is some really funky evidence that I think should be looked at. Because if it's not, and they kill an innocent man, that would really stink. So, some of the things that the last appeal rejected to hear was the fact that the victim was killed, her body was dumped in the woods while the man was in jail. There was DNA evidence that didn't match up. The blood didn't match up. Even the autopsy reviewed and stated that several important findings were not made available during the trial. And, it's just some really crappy justice that kind of went on in this case. And, nobody's perfect. I understand that. But, if there's a mistake that was made, then let's look into it. Let's just look into it. That's my theory on that. And if they don't, they're going to kill this man in 2 weeks. Okay? So I have written letters. I have contacted some of my friends over at CBS and Fox, and the wonderful over there, including Courier Post. And, hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit more attention on this. But what you guys can do, and this is the reason why I'm mentioning this to you, is, whether you're for or against the death penalty, I need you guys to go to my website, take a look at Larry Swearingen's website. There's a link there. And if you feel that after looking that there might be a possibility in your mind of doubt, then you need to click on that other link, sign a petition, basically stating that, there's enough doubt here to maybe not kill this guy. Because, honestly, the only way that they're going to save him now, I think, is if there's enough media attention involved. So, spread the word as much as you can. Tell your friends. Tell your local media. If you can, just tell your local media and, do anything and everything you can. Help me out here, folks. I don't ask you guys for much. You know this. But this is pretty important. And, I don't know anything else that I personally can do. This guy needed thousands and thousands of dollars for experts to come in and look at this evidence, and the state wouldn't pay for it. So, he had a collection going. In fact, you can still, send a couple bucks to him. I'm sure, though, he'd be appreciative of that. But he's got 2 weeks, folks, from tonight. So, again, I'm going to mention this again next week, probably. And, of course, I'll let you know what the final outcome was in 2 weeks. But, keep this guy in your prayers. Check him out. His name is Larry Swearingen. He's got kids, got family, everybody's got problems. But I really don't think this guy killed him. I will say it. I don't think this guy killed her. I don't think he needs to be put to death over this. I think they need to take another look at his case and, get some more evidence. plenty of evidence that supports his innocence, and they just won't look because of whatever reason. And I think that's terrible, I think it's terrible. But we all know that Texas doesn't like the media very much, doesn't like attention on these things. So I think if the media rose a big enough stink, I think they would be saving a life in 2 weeks. So please, all of you watching out there, Fox, CBS, ABC, CNN, all of you out there, please help me. All right? And again, his website is www.larry-swearengine.com, and you can check that out on my website. And there's also a petition that you can sign, an e-petition that you can sign that might help. So please help, please. Okay? So that's pretty much that, folks. I also want to remind each and every one of you once again that I will be appearing this coming Thursday at Dempster's Sports Bar and Restaurant in Mount Holly, New Jersey. I'll be there from 7 to 10, giving absolutely free psychic readings to those of you that come on in and get anything off the menu. It's a pretty good deal. Anything off, they'll fit the bill for the reading, so it's pretty cool. So come on down. So that's it, my brothers and sisters. Now, you guys can give us a call at 856-227-1360 and 856-232-7077. Give us a call and get absolutely free psychic reading with me. Okay? How about that, folks? I've been dealing with this Larry Swearengine thing for almost 2 years now, and we just actually started writing. I received a letter from him, and he seems like a really nice guy, and they say that 10% of the people on death row are innocent, and that's quite a shame. They also said that 90% of the people on death row couldn't afford attorneys, which tells you something else, about the system. Money talks, folks. That's just how it goes, and that's a sad thing, but, it is the truth. Because Larry didn't have a lot of money, he could be very well facing execution. Sad thing. I do think that under certain circumstances, I think the death penalty is reasonable, but it would have to be overwhelming evidence with absolutely no doubt whatsoever. Not just, flimsy stuff with a great possibility of innocence here. It just amazes me. It amazes me. But this guy's been bumped before. So, it's a touchy thing, folks. I'd probably say right now, if it went down tonight, it's a 50-50 chance. Bottom line, they either do or don't. But, again, I think with enough attention, we could change things. So, I can't express enough. You guys can send appeals. Include Larry's number, 999-361. And, express sympathy for the family and friends, of Melissa. But, wow, this is serious. It is serious. And I believe somebody else is out there right now who did it. And I actually feel, and I'll tell you, it's a crazy thing, I actually feel that she may have been killed by a police officer. That's just what I felt from that, which makes it even a scarier thing. But, maybe we'll get that whole thing together on another show. I don't know. But it's a spooky thing. The whole thing is just a mess, and it's terrible, and, it's bad news. And, again, I've never been involved in anything like this before. I'm not some, I don't know, death row thrill seeker or whatever, because some people are. They go to these things and, they march or protest for or against, and, all this craziness. And, I just don't think that's effective. I mean, it looks good, but I just don't think it's effective. You got to go straight to the source. That's all you can do. media, and it's the only way to make that work. It's the only way to make that work. Okay? So, please tell anyone and everyone you know. Tell all your newspapers, to at least just take a look at the evidence, Put it out there that there's a possibility they're killing an innocent man. Because I do. I really think there is that possibility out there. And it bothers me because I could be next. Or you. Or you. Or you. Who's to say? You're not driving along in your car, and 10 minutes earlier, somebody in a very similar car with your similar build or skin complexion ends up, taking somebody out, and your car matches, your face matches. Oh, it must have been you. It happens. It happens. So, this is something that we got to just take a look at, really quickly. Texas is known for executions, but Texas is also known for stopping them if things get too hairy. They've done it before. They did it not too long ago. They gave a couple stays of execution. Just to take a look at other evidence, DNA, stuff like that. And it's the same situation here. So, I can't even tell you why this case is so important to me other than the vision I have for it, I felt the sincerity in Larry's voice when he said to these people that, he didn't do it. Now, that doesn't mean he didn't do it. I'll tell you that right now. Pathological liars believe in what they say. But for whatever reason, I was brought into this man's life, and I feel the only reason I was brought into this man's life is to make the attempt to save him. I can't figure out what else it could be. So I'm trying. That's really all it is. I'm trying. So again, if you guys can go to my website, once you get inside, just click on the link. You'll see what's new right there in front. Just read it up and see if you can't sign that for me. I really would be very, very grateful if you could. Okay? Other than that, my brothers and sisters, I want to remind each and every one of you that you guys can contact me for private readings. You guys can give me a call at 856-803-4463. That number again is 856-803-4463. Or you guys can go straight to my website, www.themysticsrealm.com, and just click on readings, and you'll be able to find various ways you can contact me for psychic advice. It's a pretty cool thing, folks, so if you get a chance, check me out. Okay? So I think that's pretty much it, folks. We've got about 3 minutes left in the show. I do want to thank all of my wonderful sponsors for making this wonderful show possible. I, of course, want to thank all of you, my brothers and sisters, for tuning me in to your homes and businesses this evening and your computers and whatever. Also would like to thank the lovely Karen for making all this radio stuff possible as she does every week. She has just been fantastic here. We love her. And, of course, I'd like to thank WNJC for just being there. And I'd like to thank the good Lord above for making all things possible. Because He's truly the man. You know this. I know this. That's how it goes, huh? Now, I believe we have the Sports Maniacs coming up here really, really quickly, so you guys got to stick around for that. And, again, remember, I will be appearing this coming Thursday night, 7 to 10. 7 to 10. Right there in Mount Holly, New Jersey, folks, at Dempster's Sports Bar and Restaurant. Just get anything off the menu, get a free psychic reading with me. It's a pretty cool deal. Okay? So, other than that, my brothers and sisters, don't know where my music is, but I think we are pretty much out of here. Okay? So, one other thing I got to mention to you really, really quickly is apparently MUFON Network is having a big rally coming up on the 18th. So if you guys get a chance, you guys go and check it out. It should be, I think it's this coming Saturday. So if you guys get a chance, check it out. Just check out MUFON. They're the Mutual UFO Network, and they've got a place right there in Philly that you're going to be at. So I think it's going to be right there at Temple University, so check it out on the net. It should be very interesting. Okay, stay tuned for the Sports Maniacs. We love you all like family. You know this. I'm out. Peace.